The head of the train services is a gay paedophiles group, and they have lots of oral sex with 5-year-old boys and older. And this is the head of the train services, a gay group, no girls allowed actually, and they've stolen the train services. Now, I know for a fact that they make child porn, mostly gay porn. It is for with little boys and adults, anally raping little boys. They are, and they made thousands of images of little boys with adults. The head of the train services. He also made a video of a guy raping a 7-year-old girl, and he's got his full erect cock right inside her, and she's screaming out. She's screaming. She's in total pain, and he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Like he's got his full cock right inside her, like, and she's in so much pain. She's about 7 or 8 years old, and this is the head of the train services. They're making child porn, not lots of it, but this type of child porn where it's very painful for the girl. They don't care about her at all. She's being very badly abused, and this is the head of the train services. Um, all the male train drivers, all the train companies, they're doing this to little girls because they're, you know, basically the train services are actually the far right. And that guy who's fucking a young girl at 7 years old, he's the far right. And this is what this is how he treats women and girls. He rapes them until they're crying so much. I mean, it's in pain. And this is uh, the train services and the train companies are doing that. And this is how they treat young girls in deep, serious abuse. So the train companies should be going to prison for that. They would go to prison for a minimum of 15 years. So that means their customers are going to prison. And this is based on the judicial system that doesn't tolerate stuff like that. I don't tolerate it. I want them in prison, right? I can't stand what they're doing there. So the train services are making homosexual child porn, thousands of indecent images with 5-year-old boys and older. They've stolen the train companies and they head to train services. And they're also making child porn with girls where they're fully penetrating the girl and she's in extreme agony and pain. And this is the train services. Now, they need to go to prison. That's a serious crime what they're doing. Their abuse to girls is so bad that their customers need to be taken to prison and they they'll be taken away from people who are raping young girls like that and giving them tons of pain when they should have none of that. They're far too young for a big guy with his erect penis fully inside her and she's screaming in pain. This is your train services, and now their customers are going to prison, and we're going to be taking anyone and everyone out of that system that violently rapes them and doesn't care about the girls at all. We're the opposite. So, anyone against this, the head of the train services, putting his erect penis into a 7-year-old girl's vagina, she's in screaming and pain. Anyone against this, you've got to take the train service customers and put them in prison for that. And they're going to prison for a very long time and will be incarcerated and possibly treated very badly because the train service are not allowed to treat girls like that. They're not allowed to abuse them like that. We know they're gay paedophiles, oral sex in 69 with the boys and anally raping them too. So now your customer's going to prison and they'll be treated in any way that people want. We're going to punish the train services for painful sex with 7-year-old girls. So now we take your customers and strip them naked and do everything with these girls except what you're doing. The train services will avoid that at all costs. Any penetration, any pain to those girls, we won't be doing that. And that's why your customers at the train services are now going to go for a minimum in prison for 7 to 15 years, taken by British people who are offending to guys raping, painfully raping 7-year-old girls like the head of the train services. The head of the train services is a gay paedophile with boys aged 5, and then they're making loads of homosexual child porn, and they're also making child porn with girls, but they're abusing them. They're crying in these videos. They're crying in pain, and this is the train services doing that. So now their customers are going to get taken and turned into sex slaves, where there'll be no penetration with the two young girls. However, they will be sexually degraded and kept on a leash because the train services will be punished for treating girls like that. They will have less customers now. Their customers now risk getting taken and enslaved by all objectors to this rape, violent rape, painful like you've never seen. This girl has to go through, all because of the head of the train services, the gay community.